Here we go, AKA Patters. We're not working on anything crazy. I found this very low resolution Prophet Evangeline crossover cover. And this was I really like this issue. I just like the opening with how Mr. Liefeld draws Prophet kind of walking through the snow, and he's just like snow, ready for the elements. And I think it's two issues. I never read them. I always looked at them. But yeah, I thought we would kind of do another demonstration of true comic book inking. And you can see I got a little bit into this, just trying to figure out some of the pieces of it. And technically, I should have the issue with me, and I kind of don't, because the issue helps me a little bit on. We'll see if we have it. Give me a second here. I got a stack of books here that I kind of was my go-to pile. So the only reason I'm recommending the issue is because the pencils are such low resolution. I just want to be able to replicate Liefeld's intent with some of the armaments, the straps, and like those things. So give me one moment here. Right. I know. Should have done this before the stream, right? But guys, sometimes when you get inspired, you just go, and it doesn't matter. We'll see real quick if we can pull it. And I think we have it right here. Bingo bango, guys. This is why we're organized. But welcome to it. Peter A. DeLuca here. Sunday morning, day 6 or day 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in day 5 of consecutive streams. How cool is that? So we'll just mark that one off right there. We're using the Crow Quill. We're trying to just replicate the tools of the day, but we'll be using this as a little bit of a guide. A little bit, but not too much. Eagles play today at 4:30, so we're trying to get as much done as possible before 4:30. Technically, we gotta get to the establishment at around 3:30, so we got busy. I got design work to do. I'm really behind on some of my graphic design work, so let's just get into it. Let's have some fun. Let's draw some flat out goodness from Mr. Liefeld. And I love it too. I love that people, even to this day, and look, guys, I've done videos critical of Mr. Liefeld, but at the same time, like much respect to his career, though. It was fun back in the day, kind of going to the comic shop and having awesome comic. I really like. I want to say that the awesome comic book era. That's really what resonated with me. I love going to the store and just getting those new issues of Fighting American or U.S. Agent. The Coven was nice, and we'll be doing some Coven too, because even for that era, Mr. Churchill has some fantastic pencils that Awesome Comics reproduced. But some of this it's warm up. Aho, Total Excellence. What's up, dude? Total 5 straight days streaming. First time seeing you in this run. Here we go. And Ifki, Total Excellence. This is the beginning of all the momentum back again. Like the momentum is fully back. It's amazing that I lost November. A little bit of that illness I still have, but I have enough energy to where I can kind of go on all cylinders. But what is happening? What are we working on? what's new? Love that Captain America piece. And here too, I feel like on this stream right here, we are saving traditional comic book inking, one stroke at a time. So some of these like straight lines too is I can kind of go back, make them a little bit more jagged if I needed to. Like sometimes you just let that stuff simmer for a little bit. It's just so you can get like a different pair of eyes on it. And some of this too, I would really recommend brush. I really would recommend brush for some of these line weights here. And the reason is because we have a lot to interpret, and the brush is going to mask that. It's going to help us hide some of it. Because we're not going to interpret to perfection, meaning like what the intent of some of these pencils are. Like we're not. And, some of that comes to the discretion of the penciler or who's supplying the pencils or the, because here, like we can kind of make the argument, are we finishing more than anything? Potentially. I would say we're kind of more or less finishing here than anything. Just because the pencils are so unclear. I want to say this crow quill might be a little bit too small for what we're trying to do, but we will. We'll get this going for some nice cross hatching. Just set that one up. Yeah, we're not quite there with the thickness here for the tip. It's just not 100%. Not where I like it, I'll say. So there's always like a little bit of back and forth too. When you work in this method, it does pay to have like a little bit of a inventory of tools, because sometimes even like how the pencils will reproduce, like you may there's going to you're going to have to fill in the blanks. There's going to be concessions along the way, just based on the resolution, what your printer is able to do, so on and so forth. Some of this could be this point. This point may need a little bit more work. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Ithke, dude. I'm just anxious on you kind of experimenting more, and doing more I'll say like poppy colors, and kind of getting a little bit more extreme with your highlights. Right? Like I just think I think that time for you has come. To kind of just like complete the growth of the colorist type stuff. But dude, like I always enjoy your stuff. I always try and check it out. It doesn't matter. I still don't get notifications. I don't get notifications for half of the people who I used to when it comes to like live streams, and I feel like I've been saying this for years. And it's so weird. It really is. But and I don't want to know if like I don't want to say it's like the algorithm being evil. More or less, my take on it is that I'm probably not watching enough other colorists and stuff, so it doesn't like feed it to me. Like the algorithm's like doing its job, kind of. This sword hilt here just looks off. It really does. It just looks off. And I want to say I may have to jump pens here. That pen is not Yeah, here we go. This one's a lot better. This one is a million times better already. All right, let's just get into some of this right here for his shoulder. And some of the idea too is that, you know, like let's do a couple things different that we don't see in print with this. Whenever this happens, it's nothing but like it's just some quick whiteout. No big deal. So the funny thing is too, like you can see there's 3 swords here, but the original prelim there's 2. I wonder what that's all about. I mean, we are getting there. I just don't know where there is yet. It takes a while to visualize a piece, everyone, especially when you're working like this. It's difficult when you're working with something established, too. Not easy. And by established, I mean, people have their idea of what Liefeld's work should look like. And this is a previously published piece, and and with all of that, a popular one. So yeah, not easy. Not easy at all. So let's get into his arm bands here, a little bit of the gauntlet, and we'll replicate the texture too that is on his shoulder pads, some of that shoulder protection. So here it looks like, who is it? Sybil. Sybil added, like, he did add some nice blacks to really kind of bring this to life. but we will, we'll do something similar. We're just going to do a little bit our way. And even when you're embellishing on this level, your goal should be to, again, respect the penciler. You have to maintain what some of those intentions are with the penciler, because that's his job. Like, they know better than you as the inker. The inker comes in, interprets, and you kind of like spit it back out, but by the time you're done working on it, it's print ready. And I think people miss that point often. And we're getting a little bit more stylized with just the way I'm looking at the line work here. Yeah, of course, bud. 1,000%. Yeah, Rob's art, and I'll say Peter's art, the AKA pad art here, very welcoming to extreme highlights, high level interpretation, and just overall fun imagery. You got another page on. Fantastic, Jamie. Yeah, and dude, I it's kind of funny. I was sitting down earlier today trying to catch up on messages. I know your messages populate in my business account, and I have to do a couple re-logins sometimes to get to those. I can see the message. I get notified. I can excuse me. I can respond. I can only respond when I'm logged in, but I can read it when it initially comes in. So I will get to your response, dude. But I love it. And Jamie, let me know, because like, I would like to work with you to see this project kind of get done. As with all of you, I feel like 2023 was the year of the website, and me getting a couple other things in order regarding the website. And I traveled a lot, had just like life stuff kind of happen. And I get it. You have to let life take over what you're doing sometimes. Like, you can't be your job 24/7, but you kind of should be regardless. I'm all, when people act like work-life balance and stuff, and they're like, oh, you have to go out and do stuff. Yeah, but then you also have to work for 3 weeks straight with no sleep. Like, I'm all for both of those positions. So that was a lot of 2023, guys. So 2024, it's really going to be just this like realignment. And I don't care. Like, we're publishing, we're getting a lot done. Guys, I'm just looking at a little bit of this position here. Just trying to get the right contours. This is one of the ones where you can ink this thing 10 different ways. And maybe we will. I got multiple printouts of it, so we may get that, everyone. and we kind of see, so a little a little bit of insight of like what's happening here. Like we're just seeing something unique. We're seeing a divergent of this, okay? But we're using the line work that exists. We're not ignoring the line work. And that's the big idea, everyone. See, and we have to curve some of this. I don't think some of this is there. We're going to add some brush black here and some brush black up here, guys. For anyone tracking it a little bit. Just going back and forth. Like I kind of want to do some of the work for. And you know what, guys? Give me 1 second, Jamie. I'm going to read those messages. I need to refill my aqua here. All right, guys, here we are. A little bit of a break. Got the aqua. Critical to practical inking. Well, hopefully some of you are enjoying this. I feel like we are. Like, guys, I feel everything this banner says, like I believe it through and through. I do believe real comic book inking is dead. I believe actual comic book artwork is a dying art form, meaning let's make things happen on the page. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Sorry, just catching up here, guys. Yeah, look, Jamie, real quick. So, like, if I can get like, maybe if Ithki wanted to chime in on this, like, let's just kind of. It's always tough. So, like, for example, like, let's just say if we're doing bold colors, right? we can do a little bit of a quick demo here. And I'm just, look, I'm picking up 3 random markers. Like, right, complete randomness here, okay? Let's just say these are the colors we have to use for different reasons, okay? We're locked in on these colors. So let's just get like a panel, okay? Now, this is no word balloons. We're going to take out the word balloons. We're going to add the word balloon later. But let's just say we have like a guy here, okay? Yeah, Mr. Inside the panel. Okay. And you know what? Let's just give him like a Bob Blackfeld headpiece here. Okay. We'll give him a radio. We'll do a little bit of shading. Okay. And let's just say he's talking on his radio, but in the background, yeah, we'll just call it like a metropolitan city. Okay. And Jamie, I'm going to address what I kind of like see that you are doing. Okay. So we have a city street here. Okay. So we have 3. Let's give this guy some hair. Okay. So we kind of, the hair does not look good. I apologize for the hair. All right. So we have 3 levels. All right. We have background. Okay. We have foreground. Okay. And then this is like middle. Okay. The viewer is going to have to separate 1, 2, and 3 subconsciously. People miss this point when it comes to producing artwork. Now, we're not producing art. Let me correct that. We're producing an image that has to get communicated. So this is communication. It's not artwork. We have to communicate these 3 levels easily. And look, we're just going to randomly, look, I picked up, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to use up my yellow. Let me just get this blue here. Okay, and maybe that works a little bit better. So we get blue. And let's just say we do this with the blue. We just go all in. Blue, 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 blue. Yeah, even the buildings, right? Which is cool because, right, like that's a little bit of our atmosphere. And you know what, too? We'll even do like all the midground. So we take the background color and we hammer it. We kill it. Okay, well, let's go in with the midground color right here. And then boom. Yeah, we're not being detailed. Okay. All right. And then you guys can guess. With the foreground right here, we're going to just give it to this guy. And we're using very limited colors. But the thing is, what happens here, and Jamie, I think this applies to you, is like we're like subconsciously we know just from the colors what's happening, right? Like we know it's 1, 2, 3. So there's a depth, you know, like we're the way how the eye is seeing this panel. Let's just imagine the panel as, you know, in 3D, okay? So the eye is seeing like what the layers are. So we have the buildings here, okay? We have the city street here, and then we have our boy here. So the eye is just seeing exactly how this looks in like a 3D environment. So it's moving through this right here, middle ground, foreground, like background. And so if we are, we're going to add like a word balloon, like it becomes extra helpful because the word balloon here gets to kind of come in right here, right? And we get to kind of help. The word balloon helps the communication a little bit. But see, like we get that. And that's the big point. And then like boom, like we'll just add a couple good lines for the word balloon to lock it in. So Jamie, like I think a little bit what you're doing, and if we just get into what you're doing, like here we have your guy here, and you know what? I think right, we have your guy, background, building, okay. What I think you're doing is you're almost like doing this. Like you're kind of just blocking in the color straight up. Okay. And it's a little too flat. Like this is a lot of what I see you're doing, okay? And here's the differences. Let's just go over what the differences are, okay? My background pretty much bleeds through my mid and my foreground. So that background color is our atmosphere. It's also broken up. So we get like a depth. We get a depth of field. I'm also leaving gaps. And the reason why I design my panels to have some of these gaps is because it just helps the viewer. It gives the viewer and the audience a little bit more info to decipher what's happening. So this little gap here gives us a little bit more mid-ground. And a lot of times, and given Jamie, like, I've only seen like a couple pages. But here, if we were to like add a little bit more depth of field, like you can kind of come in here, and let's just say there's like, like a festival or like a market happening here on the city street, and let's say there's like a sun here, okay? Well, we can do things. We can just pull in like these other colors that we have quick access to, right? Like one solid, and I'm talking in terms here of solid colors. Yeah, we create more depth, more field, and it goes on and on. And part of the difference, like part of the caveat is that I'm able to render things rounded relatively quick. That's also going to be, Jamie, like something that you're going to have to focus on. You have to focus on your objects being rounded, even if you just cheated with the coloring or cheated with the inking, cheated with the penciling, until you can render that roundness. But if you know it's there, you can start addressing it. And keep in mind, everyone, these are not, like perfect solutions and things like that. These are quick responses to fixes. All right, they're not, stuff to be mindful of. With all that said, let's get back to inking. Hopefully that helps, Jamie. Yeah, I like the end. I like the Gen 13 uh, movie, dude. I really do. I think that animated movie would have done the work that Jim Lee needed it to do. Yeah, I really feel like like lack of competition committee at Disney. Uh, they saw that as a threat, and they appropriately took it out by spending some of their Disney money and just buying it, which is hilarious that they bought it to bury it. And it's just funny too how Jim Lee's like now vocal about that. Like I get it, dude. Like Jim Lee will play every single side of the spectrum, but how do you not like get vocal about that in interviews? Like he's always so diplomatic, and how come he's not like, you know what, the hell with these guys, dude? Like Disney killed Wildstorm Productions. They killed my company. He's such a little wimpy wimp sometimes. Here we go. We're just trying to sell super hair here. Lots of hair. Lots of hair and cross action. We leave like a little bit here because we want like a little bit of a highlight almost, like right on her butt. Oh, guys, look, my nose just dripped snot right there, right on the freaking line. But not too bad there. And I'm just trying to pick out some of these opportunities here real quick. part of the trick here now too is determine the intent of some of the roundness of her body here. Kind of like, are we doing soft curves? Are we doing aggressive hard ones? Yeah, I mean, that's exactly true, Jamie. Jim Lee's just not in the business of rocking any boats. I mean, I can't think of one bad thing he's ever said about anyone, and that doesn't make it exactly correct. Because I do feel like when it comes to your products and the people you employ, I feel like you have to go to bat for them, and you have to fight for some of these. You have to fight for some of the people you work with. You have to help them. These people sacrifice a lot for you. Just even like for him back in the Wildstorm days, it's like, like those guys were in the trenches. Jim Lee's, living in New York, one country away, essentially, like, right? Like Wildstorm's on the West Coast, Jim Lee's on the East Coast, living in New York, trying to, like convince Marvel to let him take over. So, like, but what about those guys, in California, right? Like, what those guys are the warriors. They're the ones making the freaking product. And Jim Lee just took his eye off the ball. Lost to Heroes Reborn, right? Like they gave him Heroes Reborn essentially. He made that into a very odd Wildstorm like crossover, which is still hard to imagine even now, that he turned Heroes Reborn into like a Wildstorm like showcase and even got a trading card set out of it. It's a weird timing in the comic business. And again, too, part of the fun of this is just, again, picking out the opportunities. The Nick, what's up, bud? I don't know, Nick. Just trying to save comic book inking one stroke at a time with a traditional crow quill. Again, results, right? Like, we can already argue results better than digital right here. I know that's controversial. People are going to argue against that one. Not happy about this right here. Not happy about it. Yeah, thank you, Nick. Finally, someone sees the light, right? Yeah, we also use brushes too, you know? Again, the techniques of old. Which is hilarious how people just defend digital now. Like, like in a way, pretending as if there was never an age of practical inking and comic book production. It's almost like a gaslight. But we're getting there with this. Progress on this moved a lot faster than what I was originally anticipating, which is good. Jamie. Jamie, this is Prophet and Evangeline. And yeah, if you want, I always like the opening pages of this book, though. This book's just super, super cool. Big fight, big panels, like just cool shit. Somewhat of a Liefeld signature here doing it, but like, yeah, it's just like really epic stuff. And right, Liefeld does not draw. Yeah, see, so this is where like you get to this page and you're like, all right, like Liefeld, you turn, and then you get the, Robert Nathan. This looks like, oh no, this looks like Stinsman. Who did this? Pencils, Rob Liefeld, inks, pencils. Oh my god, yeah, Mike Donato. It did look like Mike Donato. This right here is a Mike Donato face right there. But yeah, three other guys to complete the rest of the book. So it just stinks. You know, we always wanted more interiors from Mr. Liefeld. Always. Never got enough of them. And like that's it. That is the legend of it all. All right, I'm trying to see if this is dry. Maybe not. So part of like the cross hatching here. So like if you want to compare and contrast. So Sybil here, see how he brings the cross hatching. The coloring hides it a little, but the cross hatching goes from super tight and it bleeds out because he's like rimming it, or like not rimming it, but he's like curving it. So we're showing that the light's hitting here, and it's just going to get darker towards like again like the end of the curve. We're going to put that in the middle, and we're going to go from dark to light here, and we're going to go from dark to light here, and yeah, just to show a little bit of variation. But we're waiting for some of these little specks to dry up here. So let's just give it a shot. And again, you know, like making it just a little bit different, just so it's ours. So this is where it gets, it's like bump, 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 bump. High waist. I would like to complete the armor though, to get that to look consistent before hitting the body. But see how we make like the, you know, like the inker should put the texture. Like you have to texture, you have to know your textures. Like that's it. You have to know your opportunities for textures. Like that's it. And again, it brings it to life. So we're getting there with this. All right, guys. It is a very busy, hectic day for me. We are new. I might move the YouTube drops to 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. because the analytics shows that there's so many of you watching the videos at between 5 and 6. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a little bit of what's leading to like this live stream series, if you want to call it that. It takes Nick, it takes a lot to develop your eye to know what the difference is, right? But I really feel like the intent of any digital art is to replicate what can be done practically. And I feel like digital art is there. I think that the tools are there, the apps are there, the algorithms are there. We want things to look less mechanical, and it's hard to define what the real disconnect is. Like why does digital inking just look off? It's a tough thing, but I want to do more from that series because number one, I think it's valuable. I don't see too many people. I don't think I've seen anyone else do it. But at the same time, though, I have to get better with defining exactly what those positions are and how to discuss those arguments, and like again, be a little bit more clear. But that's why we do videos like that. A lot of it's practice, a lot of it's honing in on what the opinion is and what the idea is, and it takes time to sculpt what it means and how we define it, and so you can be more vocal about it. But thank you, thanks for even mentioning that video. Yes. Yeah. Jamie, we will be inking Michael Turner here, by the way. I have Michael Turner pieces ready to go. But guys, coming to you from Extreme Studios. Love you guys. Rock and roll. Let's just keep going, okay? We are 5 days straight in live streaming right now. I have to go work out. I have a video episode to drop. I got a podcast to do. And I gotta gear up for the birds. It's Philly versus St. Frame at 4:30. So the clock's ticking. Guys, swear to God, I love all of you. Really. You guys just keep me going. You really do. Live long and prosper. Jamie, my father, who was a non-geek, by the way, but a major Trek head. From the mean streets of Camden, New Jersey, and South Philly, and a Vietnam vet, a hardcore Italian guy. My father would love that sign off there. So, guys, yes, live long and prosper.